So today we're going to look at the commonly prescribed chemotherapy, Paclitaxel, or Taxol. So being a chemotherapy, the objective of this drug is to stop cells from dividing. As we see here, when the cell divides, it ends up in two other cells. These are not drawn in proportion. These cells are supposed to be of an equivalent size. However, this is a cancer cell, this is a dividing cancer cell, and therefore these are two other cancer cells that arose from it. So in order to stop this, what paclitaxel does is it targets a phase called anaphase. That's the phase in the cell cycle, which is the cycle in which cells divide, also known as mitosis, during which the DNA which we had to copy ends up getting pulled apart. So when this gets pulled apart, each cell that comes about from this process ends up getting a copy of the DNA. Therefore, these two cells that arose are identical to this original one. So if we take a closer look, just zoom in here. Taking a closer look at what these guys are, we see that they're actually these tubules, or these cylinders. These are supposed to be cylinders. So if we take a look at these cylinders, what they are these towers made up of these smaller molecules or smaller components, proteins, called tubulin. So what the tubulin does is it forms bundles, in the end making this helical structure that ends up attaching the DNA up here, which is at the center over here, so this is up there, to the other end down here. The objective of this process is to be able to pull these two copies apart to each individual ends. And so what actually happens here is that when the cell divides, these towers over here begin to collapse. Imagine this like being a cheese stick or something. What do you do with a cheese stick? You might pull down the strands in order to collapse it. Or another example would be a banana. You sort of just pull down the banana by its peel. It's that kind of mechanism that's going on. And then these eventually fall off as it goes. So what our drug, Taxol, or Paclitaxel, does is it binds these guys and makes them really stable. As a result, these guys are unable to collapse, and this process of mitosis or cell division cannot occur. Therefore, this process ends up not happening, and then the cell hopefully either dies or reverts back to its initial state, as we see here.